And the parables in Matthew chapter 13, Jesus gives quite a few parables, probably 5 or 6 of them. And he's speaking about judgment. He's speaking about salvation. That those who are willing to seek will find the meaning to the illustration. He's pronouncing judgment in these parables on the religious leaders. Judgment because they've been kept in darkness and they won't see the light through parables. And he's pronouncing mercy on these religious leaders because they're already in darkness, lest they see their light, either evil deeds be exposed and they won't change. And so at judgment, and the final judgment, their condemnation will be much greater. And he gives a few parables. One he gives of the sower. And it's speaking that the gospel never penetrates the person's heart. The sower goes out and he sows the seed, and cares of this world or tribulations or material things sidetrack them, showing that the gospel and the belief of Christ never penetrated the person's heart. But to the one who did receive it, he had fruit, and it was beneficial. He speaks about the weeds. There was a field, and an evil one comes through and he throws weeds inside the man's field. So at harvest time, it's, hey, what happened? Showing Satan's very tactic in today's world. He speaks about the mustard seed and the leaven. He's speaking about how the kingdom of God is multiplied from something so small and it becomes greater through the church and through believers. He's speaking about the hidden treasure and the pearl of great value. They're both identical meanings. They're both picturing salvation. So valuable that when a person finds Christ, they do as the Apostle Paul said, and they chop everything up, the fame, the name, the wealth, the material, for the sake of knowing Christ. These are the meanings to these parables. And Christ is sharing these parables, sharing grace. The teachers, however, will continue to be caught up in their old ways and their old laws and in their darkness. And these teachers are hearing Christ speak, and they're looking for a future kingdom when one day there's going to be a king to make war against the Romans to get their kingdom back. But Jesus instead is teaching of a spiritual kingdom. He's speaking of salvation. And he's speaking of a great day where he'll make war on sin. And that day is called judgment. John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he did not send his son. He sent his son into the world that whoever would believe in him would have everlasting life. John 3:17, for Christ did not come into the world to judge the world, but that through him the world might be saved. But yet there is a day where we will all stand before the judgment throne, and the parables will no longer be hidden from these religious leaders.